Hi, so welcome to the angel ribbon tutorial. So these are great little things that the children can swish about in the water, or you could just have a decoration at home. What you'll need is some 3 to 4 millimeter thread, rope thread string. So something like this. This is the 4 millimeter that I'm using today. 3 millimeter works just as well. You're going to need to cut it into 4 different lengths. So you're going to need 2 pieces of thread at 30 centimetres, 4 at 45 centimetres, 5 at 40 centimetres, 4 at 60 centimetres, plus you're going to need 2 ribbons measuring around 70 centimetres or longer if you want the ribbon to trail longer in the water. You'll also need a ring. I'm using a metal ring because I haven't got any wooden ones. The wooden ones are really so much better in the water because these obviously eventually will go rusty and then it'll stain your string and it'll just look all unsightly. But to be honest, I'll probably just use it this Christmas and then do new ones next year. You can get plastic rings as well. Okay, so in the description is those lists of strings that you'll need. So let's get started. This is me, by the way. Hi. So we start by making the body. For the body, you're going to need your ribbons. I'm going to use yellow and green because I like the colours. Make sure they're nice and even. And you're going to need, I'm going to get that into the middle. You're going to need your 5 pieces of 40 centimetre string. Again, make sure that they're even. And put them all together like so. See how I've just pinched them all together? I'm going to make a nice loop now and stick, see how I've got that, so I can stick it through the hoop. And then I'm going to get all of this and thread it through. Okay. And then you can see how it's all just a little bit messy. I'm going to hopefully try and tighten that up by pulling it all nice and tight. If you pull the strings individually, sorry, I've gone off shot there. Pull the strings individually to make it all nice and neat. Okay. So you can either have the ribbon showing at the front or you can manoeuvre it so it goes to the back. Doesn't really matter really. So you can see the ribbon on this in comparison to the body is fairly short, but you can have it longer. Right, we are now going to get the 30 centimetre piece of string. With your first one, you're going to just loop it and we're going to place it there. With your second one, again, we're going to hold it in place. See how I've got it on my thumb, and we're going to start coiling this round. Try and make sure you get the end underneath where you're going to coil it. I'm just going to try and coil it nice and neatly around like that. And then we're going to stick it through the loop. And then with these, now we're going to pull down. I'm just pulling and it pulls that string through. And it just neatens it all up. And then you can just arrange that how you want. And that's your angel's body and head. I've not done a good job of hiding that bit, but I'm sure you'll do better. I might redo that later. Okay, so we'll start on the wings. So this 30 centimetre thread, just keep to one side for another one. So we're going to start with the longer piece of thread. So I've got 60 centimetre threads here. Again, loop it. And we're going to start at one side. So it goes over the top and then you're just going to pull these through like a knot. There we go, pull it really nice and tight. So you can see how I've got that on. Right, the top one, we're then going to get another piece of the 60cm thread, loop bit at the top. It's going to go underneath, and we're going to pull those through. Can you see? It's nice and tight. Push them together, and then this, oh, I can't get it at the angle so you can see. So this goes over the top and underneath and pulls nice and tight. So can you see now I've got 3 little loops at the top but 2 bits of string still. I'm going to do the same at this side. So it goes over the top, and then this bit comes around the back and through the hole. Pull it nice and tight. Okay, so you end up with your string like this. We're then going to push it up nice and tight as you can, and we now have the first part of the wing. With this end one, it's going to come over the front like so. With the second to end one, I don't know, I'm going to show you this. My camera angle's off, I'm going to just come up a little bit. Right. So this end one's going to come over this way. With the second to the end one, we loop over the top. You see how I've looped over the top, and then we're going to come underneath and pull through really tight as you can, and then we do that one again. So each bit of string goes twice over the top, around the back and through, and then that one just goes to one side. The next string, so the third string along, over the top, around the back, pull it tight, and do that again for the second time, over the top, around the back, and pull it tight, and then that string goes to one side. The last string, over the top, around the back, pull through, over the top, around the back, and pull through. So there we have the first part of the wing. So you should have that, and you should have 4 strings left. Okay, we're going to add another string now. So we're going to get a 45cm string. We're going to double it over. And on this very last one here, we're going to do the same. We're going to come around the back and thread those through the middle. I'm losing it. And pull it nice and tight so it's nice and neat and uniformed. And then over the top, around the back, pull it nice and tight. Pull. And then with this one, over the top, around the back, and pull it through. So you end up with that, and then you just simply slide it on so it's nice and neat. Okay, so you've now got 6 bits of string. We go back to this inside one here, and we're going to go back across to here, or you could come this way. Doesn't really matter. So this one comes over the top. You take your next string along, it goes over that rope, around the back and through the hole. It pulls really tight. We do each one twice. Around the, oh, lost my bit of string. Don't worry if it goes wrong, just simply unpick it. I'm not sure what's happened there. I'm going to do that one again because I'm not sure if I did the right string, because sometimes you forget. Over the top, around the back, and pull it through. Next string, over the top, around the back, and pull it through. Nice and tight. Keep the same tension in all your stitches so they look nice and uniformed. over the top, around the back, pull it through. And we keep going until we get to the end. Da, 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 da. Over the top, around the back, and pull it through. Over the top, around the back, and pull it through. Okay, so we're now at this stage. If you're going to make a bigger wing, if you were doing a bigger project with a bigger hoop, you could add some more strings here and you could keep going. But we're just going to come back and finish this off. So we've now got 3 rows and we're going to go for another row. So this end string's going to come back over this way this time. So over the top, around the back, pull it through nice and tight. Benson's come to join us. His foot needs a wash. Around the back, over the top, pull it through. We're kind of hiding in here because there's lots of revision going on in the house and lots of DIY that we're trying to avoid by doing macrame. Also trying to avoid eating lots of snacks by keeping my fingers busy. Oh, did that one once, didn't I? Around the back, over the top, pull it through, and go. So there we go. If you want to do any more rows, add 5 centimetres to your string length for each additional row that you're going to do. I'm just going to stick to 4 for this tutorial. I sometimes like to do 5. This one's got 6. You can see her wings are a bit bigger and we did an extra stick out. That one's 5. And that one's 5. This one's going to be 4. Okay, so you repeat for the other side. So I'll just pause while I do repeat the other side. In fact, I'll just keep going, but I'll speed it up. Listen. Okay, so she looks a little bit rough, doesn't she? Let's make her nice and pretty. So her wings, you're going to want them to kind of slope down and up, so I'm just going to cut those now. There's one side. And try and get the other side nice and even. Okay, what we're going to want to do now is make them nice and frilly. So you just unpick them all to little strands like this. I think, to be honest, the size I gave you in strings at the beginning, it was just a guess really. I think maybe if you cut them a little bit longer, I'll put that in the notes, don't worry. A bit longer, they look prettier if they're a bit longer. So there's one side, and then the other side. Okay, so then for her body, you're going to want these all to be the same length really. So I'm just going to cut across. Make an excellent hairdresser, wouldn't I? And again, we're going to frill out her body. You could tie little knots on the end for a little bit of extra sensory feel to them, so they could all be knotted on the end, or you could just frill them up. Use whatever colour ribbon you want, maybe get a ribbon. You could just use ribbon for the beginning bit, for the body, sorry. Instead of using the string, it probably look a lot prettier with just ribbon actually. And you just have to tie a little bit of string round. So if you were to do just ribbon, you do the front bit with just ribbon, and then you could just have one little bit of string as like a belt. There we go, our little sensory angel for the swimming pool. Ta-da! Obviously yours will be much prettier because you'll spend much more time doing it. Thank you, bye.